Welcome, welcome, welcome. 239 Uncensored, everything Southwest Florida and beyond. And we have a great guest. This is going to be an unbelievable podcast. We have Tamika Seaton with us. Tamika, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Yes. How are you doing, Tim?
It's so good to have you on here. It's been a while.
Wild.
Yeah, I mean, you came down to Naples to my retirement party. That was great. My birthday. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, yeah, well, what do you think about the studio? Is this kind of cool?
Oh, my God. The studio is cooler than cool.
Yeah.
My daughter actually says she wants her house to look like this. The color scheme, guys, here is gray, white, and red, and black, right?
Yeah, we kind of get that, I guess you'd say, like that manly thing going or something like that.
Yeah, it's manly, but it's actually really, really cool. I love it. The leather sofa, the neon lights, they change different colors. This is really, really cool. I love it here. And I hear that 239 Uncensored, this facility is open to future nonprofits who might want to have a virtual event here.
Yeah, that's one of the things we're doing. We're we really like the nonprofits, as you can imagine,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to bring nonprofits in. We want to open the facility up virtually. I think is the way it's going to go.
Yeah.
So I think we want to get involved in that whole world and see how that goes. And it's been such a fun time. I've been doing the podcast for about a year. Okay. And a little over a year, and it's just been a fun hobby that's turned into something that I think has really been helping the community. So it's really cool, and that's going to go right in line with what we're talking with you today about.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited. Nonprofit is it helps the world go round, right? And nonprofits fundraisers actually change the world. Yeah,
no, it's great. It's great. So let's talk a little bit about, I've known you for a long time. We won't say how long, but it's a long time,
man.
right?
What do you think? It's been at least
I think
15, 20
years.
Yeah,
it's been a long time.
No, I haven't been in Florida that long.
So when did you get to Florida?
2003, at the end of 2003.
Okay, so it must have been close to that time.
Yeah,
maybe
probably about 5, 6, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we went to school together.
Hodges University.
We got business degrees, I believe.
Yeah.
And all that stuff.
Stay near, go far.
Yeah. And I finished up later with a little bit more, but it was great. What a great experience.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really cool. I think you sat next to me and I don't know. We just became friends. It was just really cool. What was really interesting about it, I was really surprised as to how many law enforcement officers were taking management classes at Hodges University, because at the time it was I think it was a wheel program, and we would go after school around 5 or 6 o'clock and stay until about 9 o'clock, and then I think there was a Saturday class every now and then. And continue on. And
it worked out well for us because we were able to work and like most people, right? Work, go to school. I think that was great, and then it was a good opportunity. The only problem is with the wheel is you can't stop, which I guess that was probably a good thing.
Like a hamster wheel.
Yeah.
You can't stop. You keep rolling. And you know what's really cool about it all? Remember who our professor was?
Yeah.
He is the president of Hodges University.
Dr. Myers.
How cool is that?
Yeah, no, and he's a super guy. You
want to hear something really cool I haven't told anyone yet? But I was just appointed to the board of trustees for Hodges University.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. I go to my first board retreat next month, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
He is a super guy. He is. He's super nice. And it's kind of neat to know that, he was like our professor and then he becomes the president.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
You can't beat that with a stick.
Yeah. So we know that you are the basically owner, founder, executive for your Grow Your Own Nonprofit.
Grow Your Nonprofit.
Yeah, Grow Your Nonprofit. It's a little tongue twister for me, but that's like a really cool thing. And that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today.
Yes, absolutely.
So give me a little bit about your background and some of your experience.
Wow. Where should I start? I have been really blessed, right? So I've had a really interesting career, because actually before I moved to the Naples area, I worked in retail at Nordstrom's in Redondo Beach, California. That's where I'm originally from, South Central. Shout out to Compton. So from there, after banking, this is the weirdest thing ever. I had a dream. And something told me to wake up and go on Collier County government website and apply for a job. So I woke up and I applied for this job that I didn't qualify for. It was called a planning technician with the Metropolitan Planning Organization. Well, that's within Collier County government, the transportation department. And what we did, we planned expansion of 75 bike lanes, sidewalks, population projection, right, for the growth, congestion management. So I applied and I got the job.
Yeah.
And I was, so I was there. I worked there for about 5 years. Really, really great experience, met a lot of people. And then from there, I got an opportunity to go and work as a public information officer for the city of Naples out of the mayor's office. That was a wonderful experience.
Yeah. Who was the mayor then?
Mayor John Sori.
Oh, okay. He good guy too. Yeah.
Good guy. Good guy. Got that started. And I was able to host some delegations from Russia, Saudi Arabia, and China.
Wow.
And I got to meet senators, and I got to meet Governor Rick Scott at the time. And it was really cool. I got to meet a lot of really cool people. So from there, I was always involved in volunteering. I used to plan the MLK parade. I remember one time I invited you out to the first Juneteenth event in Naples
that was a long time ago.
I still remember that picture that we took together. I had a big afro. It was really cool. So from there, I got recruited with the Shelter for Abused Women and Children as a fundraiser. And I said, well, I don't have experience as a fundraiser. They said, well, Tamika, we've seen you out in the community. You're a mover and shaker. You're always involved. You're at all the networking events. We think you can do this. I'm like, okay. So I took a leap of faith and I did it. And what was really cool about it is the first thing they did, they sent me to Indianapolis, the Indiana School of Philanthropy, one of the top fundraising schools in the country. I got my certificate there and came back and just learned on the job and grew a lot of the programs. I worked with the Next Gen Committee. I was in charge of the Plan Giving Committee, the GADV, which is Gentlemen Against Domestic Violence. Wow. And it was just amazing experience. And I was so thankful that my first paid nonprofit experience was with the shelter, because you're talking about an organization who knows how to do it right, with stewarding donors, board of directors, annual commitment forms, plan giving program, an endowment, engaging volunteers, a thrift store, which is a social enterprise, checking off all of the boxes.
That's amazing. Yeah. You didn't realize it when you were thrown into it.
Yes.
How the benefits of it. It's like starting in the NFL at the top.
I like that. I like that. Starting in the NFL, the top, the league, part of the league. So from there, I got an opportunity to become an executive director of an eye clinic, and was the only free eye clinic in the state of its kind. A lot of our patients were migrant workers who worked in landscaping, and we were able to provide free eye care, eye exams, and eye surgeries. We actually had a surgery facility inside there. So it was just such an amazing experience. So after that post ended, I said, you know what? I have a history of loving to solve problems. I love thinking outside the box and being creative. How about I go out on my own and do consulting and help the small startup and stagnant nonprofits grow their nonprofits? Right. So here we are today.
Yeah. No, that's grow your nonprofit.
Yeah,
that's it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then we're going to show the website up here too for that. But it's kind of neat because Naples, for nonprofits in Fort Myers, the 239, right? 239. This is the place. I mean, people come from all over the world to try to get a little piece of, and I don't look at it as like everybody comes to Naples because there's the money here, which is true, but we just honestly have some real giving people, and they support their community. It goes all the way from, the wine fest, all the way through. It's just amazing. And the things that we have because of it.
Because of it. It's beautiful.
Big brothers, big sisters, Boys and Girls Club. I mean, it goes on and on. The shelter, and a lot of hard work, but it makes our community that much better.
Yeah. And that's one great thing about nonprofit. It is a lot of hard work, but when you think about the work you're doing and while you're doing it, and the impact you're making in the lives of some less fortunate people in the community, it makes it worth it when you get up and go to work in the morning instead of having a job that you're huffing and puffing and you can't wait till Friday to get off. I've never felt that way, because I knew what I was doing was making a difference in someone's life. So it's always satisfactory.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of why, we have the 239 Uncensored kind of joke around, have a lot of fun. And, our podcast is fun. So what we do is like every 3 or 4 podcasts, we throw in something like this for an, nonprofit, let people know what we're doing, let people know what you're doing and what's going on out there, because I think ultimately that's what brings the community together. And I think it's important to do that. So,
definitely. Together we could solve a lot of some of the issues in the community. Nonprofits really suit the bill big time when it comes to helping to solve problems. And of course, we couldn't do it without the donors.
Yeah.
Donors are so generous. So generous. It's just amazing.
How have you seen with obviously the COVID impact is huge. We talked about a little bit before, how are we working around that and trying to work through that? Because people still want to give, they do, but they sometimes maybe don't know how. We can't have all these big get-togethers, things have definitely changed. How?
Well, first of all, nonprofits who have already have donors, sometimes nonprofits don't always realize that the donor wants to give to your mission. And just because of COVID, or maybe there was a downturn in the economy, they still want to give. Maybe they're not able to give as much, but they still want to give. But guess what? You have to ask. You cannot assume, maybe because your financial situation has taken a turn for the worse. That doesn't necessarily mean that your donor still doesn't have the capability to give. So it's very important to keep in contact with your donor and let them know what's going on with your organization. And sometimes it's just a matter of picking up the phone and asking them how they are doing, not just calling them or contacting them when you want money for a particular event or sponsorship. How are you doing?
Yeah. I don't want anything.
Just like a friend. Yeah. Some of us, we don't say this a lot. Fundraisers don't say this a lot. But a donor nonprofit relationship is just like dating. You have to date your donors, right? You have to keep them posted, let them know the impact they're making. What's the saying? Statistics tell and stories sell. So tell them the stories about the lives that they're touching, that they're impacting because of their gift. And no gift is too small, because sometimes donor will test you. They may test you with $100 and you may ignore them, but they may have the capacity to give $500,000. But did you say thank you? Did you follow up with a letter? Did you follow up with a phone call? And you never know when it comes to planned giving, which means a donor can leave you in their estate plans. That could be huge.
Yeah.
So you just never know.
So basically what you're saying, the $20 is just as important as the 20,000 on how you respond and how you, and it is anyway, right?
Yes.
Because somebody, it could equate to the same thing for somebody.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm going to tell you a quick story, and this has nothing to do with the nonprofit world. But when I was in banking, this gentleman called me up. And he said he was new to the town and he was asking about different checking accounts. And I answered all the questions he had. And I've always treated all my clients, anyone who called, just like they were A-lister celebrity, right? So he finally came in and he said, Tamika, I've called several different banks, so 3 or 4 or 5 banks, and no one could answer the questions I want. Most people try to rush me off the phone. He said, I'm coming to bank with you because you're knowledgeable, you're friendly, and you made me feel like $1 million. Oh. Well, later on, I come to find out this gentleman built his company, was a construction company, build the Walmarts.
Oh, nice.
Big time. Yeah. And then I walked into his car. He was driving a Rolls Royce.
There you go.
And he wore shorts, t-shirts, and boat shoes. So you can never judge a book by its cover. And he became one of my top clients. And every time he came in the bank, he just wanted to see me. Yeah,
that's good. That's a great story. And I do the same thing in real estate, because somebody would be like, hey, listen, I'm looking for a condo. I'm looking for something, in the 200 range. Of course, in Naples now, that's kind of hard to find. Right? So, but listen, we'll spend as much time as we need to try to do this, because this is so important for you to try to find something. I need, mortgage. I need financing. I need take the time with those people. And I actually like working with those folks in some cases more than the others, because when they get that house and they're like, I can't believe I got a house. That's such a good feeling. Whereas on the other end, maybe it'd be like, it's just another house.
Right. Right.
We're glad we got it, but we're gonna tear it down and build a new one, which is okay.
Yeah.
But but I think to your point, is very important. And I like another thing you said that, you know, I called a friend the other day, and I called him Al Flanagan. I called him because I'm usually calling him, hey, Al, you got a trailer, you got this, you got that, you know, help me do this. I called him up, and it was kind of cool because I said, hey, Al, I'm just calling you because I got absolutely nothing I want from you.
Oh,
so it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But that's important though, if you're in the nonprofit, and kind of cool. You actually are going to have a book that you're hoping to get released 2021, which
Correct.
By the end,
Yeah.
which is coming
That's
up.
the goal.
And and it's basically how to create a sustainable nonprofit.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about this book.
Yeah. Well, what's really cool about this book is a total of 11 chapters. And I start all the way from the beginning. Before you even start your nonprofit, if you're in that boat, a feasibility plan. Is it feasible to start this new nonprofit? Or am I creating a duplication of efforts? Is there a nonprofit already doing the work that I want to do? Okay, let's say they're not. So would the community back me and support me? So we do that feasibility plan or your business plan.
How do you test that?
Well, we'll
ask questions.
Usually when someone wants to start a nonprofit, they're usually touched by something. Maybe a family member died of cancer, or maybe they were utilizing services and they saw that there was a gap in service. So they're usually touched by something personally, or a friend or a family member. So, and then they see that there's a gap. So maybe they were just not aware of the resources available. So to see if there's a need out there. So maybe before you start your nonprofit, maybe you start servicing people and trying to help them with resources, and see if that's out there, and see if there are other people who are in the same boat. They feel like there's a gap in services that need to be filled. So say you check all those boxes and you have that, you start your nonprofit, you receive your 501c3, and you go on to the next level. Now, after that, you want to put together a board. So we're looking at board matrix. Now, we just don't want our friends and family on the board just to warm the seats.
And to tell you, you're doing everything great, right?
Correct.
You need people from good feedback.
Right? So you need people from diverse backgrounds. When I say diverse backgrounds, perhaps you want someone in banking, maybe someone who is in marketing, someone who was served as a board member at a nonprofit in the past, someone who maybe is in retail. So you have a variety of different people who serve on your board, and a participant. So someone, say if you're dealing with the abused woman shelter, maybe someone who is a survivor. Mm-hmm. So they know firsthand. So you have that diversity. And then once you move on, I say the first fundraiser should be with your board. So because how can a nonprofit go out and ask for funding and not 100% of their board have financially contributed? Mm-hmm. So I say 100% of the board should donate, even if it's $1. So now when I go out, I can say 100% of my board have contributed, and they're there to give, and leverage the organization. That means they're ambassadors. They're introducing at least 2 potential donors to the nonprofit per year. If you have a facility, they're touring the facility, they're learning more about the organization, and now you want to try to get them involved. And that's how you start to grow your donor base. So it's all connections. And then from there, a lot of nonprofits, the first thing they think about when it comes to fundraiser are events. Well, there's nothing wrong with fundraising events, but guess what? That is the most expensive way to raise funds.
Yeah, because you got a layout, right?
Well,
just a cost for the event.
The cost. So
right.
can you think about some of the costs associated with having, let's just say, a gala?
Oh, I can't even imagine. You got the event, and you got the place where you're going to hold it.
Okay. So say if it's a hotel or banquet hall.
Yeah, you have the banquet hall. Cost. Then you've got, the rental of every piece of equipment that's being used.
Right.
Then you've got the valet. You've got the, what do they call them on the table?
Oh, the centerpieces.
Centerpieces.
The centerpieces. I mean, those have to be gorgeous,
nothing.
Right?
And I can imagine just the invites. Right, those got to be crazy, right?
Yeah, you have to mail those out.
Expense of that, because you can't just do it like email, which you could, right?
You could.
It has to be, and I've been on nonprofits. I still am, Big Brothers, Big Sisters. It's like what they look like is huge. Are they going to be cheap ones? Are they going to look fancy? How is that going to look?
Yeah. So
I can imagine that's a huge.
Yeah, you have dinner, and then alcohol, right? So
Yeah.
you have the drinks.
Yeah.
So that
is that going to be included? Is it not going to be included?
Right,
You know, there's a
right.
lot
And
of
you
things.
have, especially in Naples, you have to have the alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of
That's how you get these. We have these auctions.
Yeah.
It gets good. A couple drinks. People are having fun.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So you have all those components, not to mention staff time.
Yeah.
All the hours and hours and hours. Sometimes we start 6 months out planning an event. So all the hours that go into planning that event. Imagine those same hours you use stewarding your donors, letting them know the impact, recording testimonials of participants of the lives been impacted, working on your planned giving program, all of those components. So let's just say you have an event, it's a signature event, and you've had it for 10, 20 years. You don't want to get rid of it because people come to expect it. Snowbirds, when they come in town, they like to dress up. So, okay, you have your event. So what do we do after the event? That's where a lot of nonprofits fall short. After the event is over, okay, we're done. Let's
get ready for the next one. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, right.
So imagine if we had a staff, or even we had a staff leading a team of volunteers just sitting down and saying, okay, going through the list of people, dividing that list and picking up the phone. Thank you, Mr. Z, for attending our gala a week ago. How did you like it? What did you think? What did you think about our mission? What did you think about the participant who came up and spoke? Is there anywhere that you think you might want to get involved? We have lots of volunteer opportunities. Now get them involved. So now you have a future donor instead of a transactional donor, because that transactional donor is probably only there. That person probably bought a ticket. Maybe they bought an auction item, or maybe they're just there because someone sponsored the table and they were a guest of the table. So they'll never see and hear about you again. So now you want to transfer that relationship over to the nonprofit, because if you purchased a table as my friend and you invited Sydney, well, that's your relationship. But if I transfer that relationship with Sydney over to my nonprofit, say our mission is no longer, you don't believe in us anymore, you go somewhere else. Right. We still have that relationship. Whereas if we didn't transfer that relationship leaves as well. So we want to continue on transferring. Follow up, right?
Follow up and feedback. Plus, they might have a good idea, right?
They might have a good idea.
And, a lot of times once they go, you work, everybody gets in a meeting afterwards and we all talk about how good it was or how bad it was or whatever. But we never really ask our people.
We don't. They may have thought that maybe the program was too long, or they really didn't understand your mission after all. But having that one-on-one conversation after the event, you'll be surprised. And some people will say, wow, thank you. No other nonprofit has ever done that before. You'll be very memorable.
Mm-hmm. No, it's great. And I think we all have the intent to do it, because it's the same in real estate, right? So we go and we sell the home. Number one thing they want you to do is follow up with your buyers and sellers and whoever, but we all go to the next one. And then before you know, it's a year later and you're like, who was that? Who bought that house again? So the reality is it's a tough thing, but it's a required necessity to do. I think to be, like you said, to go the next level, take it to the next step.
Because it's more expensive in your case to gain a new client than it is to keep the one you're with happy.
Right.
Just as a donor, it costs more money to gain a new donor than it is to just keep the one you have, by engaging them and stewarding them and keeping them updated on your mission and the impact they're making. Because what's the next step after a major gift in lifelong giving? Planned giving, leaving us in your estate plans. Because within the next, I say 10 to 20 years, there will be a transfer of wealth, where the wealthy people who have been giving to a particular nonprofit, they will go on to be with the Lord. And perhaps when their wealth is transferred to, say, their children or grandchildren, they may believe in a different mission and different cause. And guess what? All of that donations, the money, it goes away.
Goes to somebody else.
And we do have an aging population here in Naples. So we need to really be cognizant of that.
It's important. And it's something not everybody likes to talk about in a meeting, but the reality is everybody's going to go. We know. We're all coming in. We're all going out. We just don't know exactly when.
I want to stay forever.
and it's a great time to, we got your daughter in here today.
Yes, Sydney.
And she's 21. Sydney, come up.
Happy birthday, Sydney.
Please come up on camera.
She's working.
And give your mom a hug.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Sydney.
We've got her in here. She's like really embarrassed probably right now, but we think she's great. And she's 21. And right over here, you got, look over at this one. Yay, there we go. Down just a little bit. Hold it down just a little bit so we can grab a picture. So if we're listening on the pod. Oh, that's so good. All right. Give me 5. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
And 21.
21. She's finally officially, what's the word? Official to do the thing she's already been doing anyway.
Yeah. There you go.
Just official. Yeah. And I like to say that Sydney actually joined me with Grow Your Nonprofit as my administrative assistant. So we're teaching her how to write e-newsletters and some marketing and following up with some clients. So I'm really excited to have her on our team.
Yeah. And you're going to be good. Because I've got Diana. I don't think we have the Diana cam up, but we got Diana here, and these young folks are amazing, right? So they know everything. Like I'm looking at the Facebook. I'm like, how do I do this? Right? Diana just starts laughing at me, like, give me that thing.
Right.
Let me have everything. But it's great, and to be young at 21.
Oh my God.
To have the to get in with your mom, because we kind of skipped over a little bit, but we have rubbed elbows at almost every function in Naples for the last 20 years. Anything that we go to, we always see each other. So that's been great. But to have the opportunity to, work with your mom and get to meet a lot of people, it's really cool.
And it's really cool. I don't know if we mentioned this here or not. I know your audience know, but you're a retired Collier County deputy sheriff.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so isn't that cool that we would be like have a cool friendship out of all these years?
Yeah, no, 31 years at the sheriff's office. I did. Yeah, 31 years. Yeah, so
when did you start? When you were 15?
I was in the military, believe it or not. 22.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm only 39 now, so I don't know how.
I just turned 22.
You do the math. So that's good. But no,
that's
so we've been but 31 years, it was a greatest time. The retirement is awesome. I love it. Like I said, though, I've been working a little bit with the real estate. It's been keeping me busy. This is fun. This is a good hobby.
This is good.
Having you come out. Yeah.
I want to say thank you so much for allowing me to come on your show.
Yeah, no.
This platform. Thank you for your friendship over the years. You have not changed. You are the same Tim I met from day one.
Yeah.
Anytime I called you or I saw you, you always, hey, Tamika, you're actually. I don't know if you're really happy to see me or not.
Of course
but
I
you
am.
Pretend you are.
Of course I am.
That's really cool. So I appreciate.
Well, that's what friends are all
you.
about. Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm so proud of you. Because you could have easily just retired and just working on your tan at the beach.
Yeah.
But you have this. You're still very active in the community. You still care and love about the community. And you I see you're still helping the next generation come up. So thank you for being an awesome human being of God.
Hey, whoa. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm sure we're going to be doing a lot of work together, actually.
I hope so.
We had some good discussion about how we can, take things to the next level with the virtuals and you doing what you do. And, I think this is just unbelievable. And then obviously there's, the website. I know Diana had it up there earlier. A lot of good things. Website's great. And I know for a fact that, if you go with Tamika, you're going to be successful because she's just got so much energy.
Yeah.
At 23, she's doing great.
Yeah.
Daughter's 21. She's 23.
Yeah,
right. But no, that's great. So well, let's wrap it up. And then what we'll do is we'll plan for another one. Okay. And then everything big that comes, just let us know. Okay. We can also do it where you can call in. And then we can do Facebook Lives and all that good stuff. So
I like that.
Yeah, awesome.
Well, maybe how can we do Facebook Live? Because I just got a new office and I'm really excited about my office.
Yeah, we can do it. So basically, we go live and you call in and you can show us around a little bit. That'd be great.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. Very cool.
Yeah. All right. 239 Uncensored, everything Southwest Florida and beyond. Thank you, Tamika. And we always go. We are out.
See ya.